Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here today, and you should be too. And I had promised you a while back I was going to go more in depth into fitting or cutting a stone to fit inside of a setting like this. Now I was going to use one of these wooden settings like I had done in the previous videos, but I thought, nope, I'm going to do it with one of these. Okay, and you can purchase these pre-made settings, and they're very nice. The only thing about these is, unlike these wooden ones, if you get pretty close to the size when you're trimming it, you can, maybe sand the outside of this a little bit, or the inside edge, so that the stone fits better. These are metal, and now you ain't doing that. There ain't no adjusting that one. All right. So I've got some of these. I don't know what they are. I found them in a bag that I had sort of not, I was going to say stashed away, but they got pushed in behind things and got hidden. So we're going to use one of these as the stone we're going to set. Okay, I was going to use something really soft like marble to show you, but I thought you'd better get a better idea how it's done with maybe just a normal size hardness stone. You know what I mean. Okay, so that is what we're going to do today. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our setting, and here we have the template. If you see, that's about the right size. Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's the right size. Okay, see that template fits in, actually that ring fits right in there. And once we get the size, the thickness of the pen will give us just what we need size-wise. So what I'm saying is the outside fits almost in the hole. We've got about a millimeter of metal. So the millimeter of that onto that will give us just about where we need to be. In this rock, we have a pretty much flat side here and a little bit more rounded side here. So the little bit more rounded side is going to be our top. And we're going to set that as close as we can to flat on there. Give ourselves a nice outline, which is barely visible. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction, that's why. Okay, there, we've got that. As you can almost see that there is the line. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the wheel, and I am going to get close to that outline. So we're going to work this stone down close to that outline, and then we're going to start cutting it to fit into this. Okay, so through the magic of editing, ta-da! Yes, through the magic of editing. And I really didn't think that you needed to see me just go over there and trim this thing down within about a millimeter of the line. And in hindsight, maybe a black stone would have not been the best choice to do this with, since it's kind of hard to see that line. But we are going to do it anyway. We shall persevere. That's the word for the day. Persevere. All right. So now we have a stone that does not fit into that until we get it trimmed down to that line. So what we need next is the yes, the trim it down to the line machine. And I am going to do the zoomy zoom in and get this to where hopefully we can see what's going on. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so now we need our spray bottle to make it wet, and the out of square machine to trim it to the line. Now this is about a 300 and some odd grit wheel, and we could use a more aggressive wheel, but if we do that, what's going to happen is it's going to chip up the wheel. No, it's not going to chip up the wheel. It's going to chip up the stone. So we are going to start gently grinding, even though it's noisy, down to that line. And it doesn't have to go fast. In fact, you don't want to go fast, because if you go fast, what happens is you get too far. Okay, so hopefully you can see that line. I'm trying to see if you can see that line, and I don't think you can see that line very well. Alrighty, that might be better. I highlighted that line with a pencil a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so it just comes down to, we gently go around that edge until we get down to the line. And I am turning that stone slowly as I turn the wheel slowly. And you see the rough edges are starting to wear down. And I'm going to go around the entire stone this way. Let me see if I can adjust the exposure. Okay, that one's whited out a little bit, but we can see the line better. Yes. Okay, we are going to go around that entire stone first and try to get that down to where the line is. And the exposure went out on me again. And depending on how hard your stone is, this could take a while, or it could take a little bit. The point is, you just take your time at it. You're going to try to bring this down to that line. When the wheel starts getting a little dry, put a little spritzy spritz on there, and readjust the exposure. Sorry about that. I should just stop this video and... Oh. Alright, we're just doing it like this. I think we can see well enough that you can get the idea. And, you know, I could fast forward through some of this, which I may, but we are going to, I just want to demonstrate, you know, that you just have to be patient at this. And go around the stone, and you're just trimming it down to the line that you have. If there was a drip system on here, you wouldn't have to worry about spritzing it. Now, I can see it a lot better than what the camera is showing. And trust me, you can see it a lot better than what the camera is showing it. And it's all just patience. I'm hoping you can see that line enough to understand what I'm doing. Okay, and I'm going to get this down to where I'm just touching the line. And you don't stay at one spot. You continually turn it, working slowly down to that line to get a nice, even edge around there. Now we are actually getting close to the line now, especially at this area right here. Okay, so I'm going to go across here one more time. And then we're going to see how it fits, or how close it is. And that is the one more time that we are going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to unzoom. Whoa, that's a super zoom. I'm going to unzoom and wipe this off. And I have to hold it down there because I have the lighting readjusted. Okay, and as you can see, we're going to look around the base of this. We are actually very close. Well, not on this side. Now, if you slip one edge in, you see we got an edge that's really far out. But if you have it right on there, you can see that it's getting very, very close. You can see the lip there. Very, very close to the edge, to where it's soon going to be right in where you need it to be. Maybe I could zoom in a little bit more. It sort of helps. Let's stick it with that. So, we are back to just grinding away. Yeah, hindsight, I should have used a white stone. But I'm thinking you're getting the idea. And we just continue around, gently coming into the line, which I can see better than you can. And it's a patience thing. You can't hurry this. Just like anything else. Some things you just cannot hurry. You can have all kinds of modern technology, but some things you just cannot hurry. You can speed up the process a little bit. Speeding up the process isn't always a bad thing. In a case like this, you're not hurrying. You are doing it precision, and this is pretty much precision work. And you notice I'm moving the stone like this, not setting at one spot to get a angled, facety edge. I am moving it back and forth, turning it to follow the arc of your line. Now I am just about to where the line is almost gone, and that's going to bring us in close. Now what happens when you have a stone that has a, if you notice you've got a high side over here and a low side over there, what that does is it sort of throws your circle out a little bit. And that's why you're going slow, getting close to the line, and keep checking the fit. And I should have mentioned this beforehand, which I completely forgot because I was so concerned about doing the circle. You see the back? I hit that with the wheel over there just to flatten it out a little bit, and I should have flattened it out on here a little bit more. So I'm going to actually do that now. That may help. You see it's pretty flat. I'm going to set that against there and flatten that. I'm giving it a quickie turn now. You can see that edge right there is not exactly flat. We have a little high spot, and our wheel's getting dry. And for checking for high spots, okay, you can, oh, well, you can see around this edge, it's low, and this is high. You can take and mark this with a pencil. And then when you set this against here and do your grinding, pencil lines will stay where the low spots are, and you can grind off all the high spots. This should not really affect what we've done so far. So it could have been done in the beginning. Okay, you see? We've got a tiny little low edge on the front. Boy, that stone's looking nice and shiny. Okay, and I think we can, because if you see that, that's less than 1/2 millimeter. I think we can go from there. So now we're going to go back to doing the edge. Like I said, do that at the beginning. I'm not perfect. And I can make all my videos perfect, but there's times when you do something like this and you're like, I forgot to flatten that bottom, just like I did. So what do? You go back and flatten the bottom and you persevere. See, the word of the day. All right, I'm pretty much right up to my line. So let's dry this off. Unzoom a little bit. I've lost a setting. There it is. Now I'm going to try to set that in there. And if you notice, this side sets in there really nicely. Maybe I can zoom in so you can see. Yeah, that side is setting in there really nicely. That's the lower side, and this higher side is sticking out. So this side right here, we're going to mark. It's fitting in right about there and right about there. So I'm just going to mark where we need to take more of that off to fit our line, which is right in that spot. Okay. So you make a mark on the top and focus on that spot. Now you see the line is going. Hopefully you can see the line is going. But that's not really a problem because we are just going to arc around there a little bit at a time. Just like I'm doing. A little bit at a time, and then we'll knock our lights. And as you see, it's getting a little bit closer to that. Check where you have marked. Yep, it's right in this area yet. Right here where the pencil mark is, down to there. So, wow, see, that's actually getting hard to get out. A little bit more. Spritz, spritz, spritz. And a little bit more takey-offy. And we're going to take off a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time in that high area. And you can move the stone pretty fast to get that area worked down. And if this stone was softer, you'd probably have less time piddling about there. Okay, now look here. We are almost fitting into that spot. And it's right in, wow. Oh, come on, I can't get it out. There, let's, fitting well. Okay, and the spot that we have to change, or take out, is changed slightly. So it's like here to here. As you can see, a tiny little lip. See, we've actually got it down a little bit more. So we're going to remark the area that we need to take in, which is right in between those two points now. So that area has trimmed up. So now we're going to concentrate on making a nice arc in between those 2 points. And not so much outside of those 2 points. This is how it's done. We are very, very, very close. Very, very close. It seems like that same spot right in there is where we need to go. It's almost slipping into place. So we need just a little bit more in that area again. And when we actually get it to fit, then we will smooth up the entire edge with a very fine wheel. Basically polish it. We won't be touching the edge with the cutting wheels. It'll be just the polishing wheels. Wow, look how close that's fitting. And it's just right in that area. Right in there. And this is where it gets to be delicate, because if you get too much, then you'll get a edge that don't look good setting in the setting. It's all patience. Patience and looking at what you got. And wow, I'm pushing that, and look how close that is. That is all but setting in there. And if you look around the edge, we've got a pretty darn tight fit the whole way around. And it's just not fitting in right in this area. Actually, it's right there. Right there. Can you see? Can you see? Yeah, right in that spot. So we're going to be very careful. I can't even look how tight that's actually. We can't even get the darn thing out of the setting. It's getting in there that tight, and that's what you want. Okay, so we're going to just hit that area just a few passes. Not many. And pretty soon it's going to slide right into the setting. And we are still so close. Still so close, and it's right in there again. When it starts to set in there so tight you can barely get the stone out when you set it in. And you know you're there. And I'm going to go just around that whole area that we were just working on gently, just to smooth up any facets that may be on the outside. And is it going to fit this time? Almost. Almost. It is so close to fitting. Actually, we can probably do one pass around the entire surface to get us rounded, because we could have just a slight facet on that edge somewhere that's kicking everything out of whack. And will we fit? Look at that. It is actually in there. It is in there, and it is in there. Now I'm going to make a little mark around here with the pencil. Going to be difficult to see. And then I got to yank this stone out of there, which is going to be fun. Oh boy. Yeah, there it's coming. There it's coming out. Yeah, it is definitely, absolutely in there to the point. Whew, there it is. And we have pretty much an even space around there, and that is in. And that is where we are going to stop trimming the edge. And then we go over onto the wheel, and we finish the face of the stone. And that edge that we put on there, that is where we don't go past. So we put the face of the stone down close to that edge to get our nice dome. All right, so I'm going to put this on a stick, and then I'm going to cut this stone down. Okay? All right, the stone is now on a stick, and I wanted to show you this before I go cab this up. I'm not going to show you me cabbing the stone up because it's a video on how to set the stone into the setting, not how to cab a stone. And as we cut out or made the marking to this one. And as you see, well, it fits in there very, very loosely because that's the outside of the stone. This one is pretty much the right size, and you can see that is almost perfectly round. Perfectly round enough that it'll fit into this. And you can see we have the pencil line around there. And I'm going to emphasize this. We're going to make the sides of the cab down to that line. And that line below here, we are only going to hit it with the polishing wheels. No cutting wheels. We're talking like 600 very slightly and 1200 very lightly, just to polish it up a little bit. And, well, that's how we're going to do it. So, through the magic of editing. Alrighty, we are all cabbed up, polished, and this is what we got. Which is pretty darn nice. I am glad I found these stones. And as you can see, the setting edge, basically, it's not quite as polished up as the rest of it, and that is because we have it cut to fit. So we don't want to take too much more off, if any, just enough to polish it, or it will fit too big. So now is the time. I'm going to take and put this over here, and wow, I don't know if you heard that or not, but that clipped right into place. And that fit, I would say that is a fit that's good enough for anyone in anybody's book. You know, and it even moves around just a little bit in there. You can slightly move it. Don't want to move it too much, because it is, wow, it is really tight in there. I sort of like that look right there. You know, and take some of the fingerprints off. And that is pretty darn awesome. And that is how you cut a stone to fit into a setting like that. Okay, it takes time, takes patience, but it's not a grueling process. You just need to, perseverance. So, if you liked the video, hit the button, subscribe, ring the bell, then you'll know when I'm doing all this. And I apologize again for, not keeping up with the video, not posting them like I normally do. And the reason is I've been very busy lately because I'm starting another business. And if any of you have ever started your own business, that takes some time and takes a lot of effort. So all I can say is I will have more videos like this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for spending some time with me, and have a good evening.